the government of Uganda allocated for coffee traceability system this financial year, 2024-25. And this money is going to be used for farmer registration, the bigger percentage of it, as my colleague Robert said. But of course, it also has other issues. For example, facilitation for you people, for LC1 chairpersons, people who will make the registration process possible. We also have enhancement for traceability systems. So as Robert said, we developed the UCDA system a little earlier, and it doesn't have, it needs enhancement to be able to support traceability. So part of this is, this money will go to that. But a bigger part of it, let's say maybe 85 or 90%, will go towards farm registration. It's not going to be a one-off. We recognize that farmers, even today, new entrants are coming into the coffee value chain. They may be traders, they are farmers. Just yesterday we were launching a big group of farmers who are just entering the value chain. So the registration process will continue. It will be continuous. And this will be done by us as UCDA, because these will be few farmers. And we shall have the system in place. So our officers in the field will capture, after this big farmer registration exercise, we will continue to capture those farmers that come on every year. So every financial year we will capture new farmers into the system to make sure that we have an updated register. We would like to thank government for contributing this money they have allocated towards farmer registration. We don't take it for granted. And going forward, we have the faith they will send more money. And we are also extremely happy that we have our partners, EUDR and others. They have contributed. So we are not worried whether there is a balance or not. What we want to be is focus on what we have now. What can we do with what we have to beat the deadline, which is 30th December 2024. If you are to calculate, we have how many days? Very few. So this is, for us, this is most important.
Without going deep into the conversation, I want you to think of the world as it is, okay? When I said liquidity and logistics, if we were to export our coffee to America, for example, okay, would we beat South America in terms of costs for them to utilize our coffee? Because Brazil, Colombia, Honduras are just next to the Americas, okay? If we went to China, which is a virgin area, not a virgin, but it's an area where consumption is going on. As I indicated, they are growing coffee. But most importantly, they have Vietnam and Indonesia, okay? One of the things you learn from the traders is that when you get in this trade, it's very risky. You could export your container and you fail to get mediation when you cannot get paid. So who do you go to? You know, all those things are being factored. Martin spoke about liquidity, pre-financing. Some of the buyers that buy our coffee are able to provide pre-financing because coffee is such a cash-driven crop, all right? Because for you, all of us are Ugandans here, all right? We know how it is to get a loan and what interest rate. So if a buyer is able to pre-finance you to do the job. Now, that is why the traders might not indulge that question. But like I said, it's important for us to articulate it, to ask why do we change markets. The journey of domestic consumption is good. I am not going to give my radical views on it because it doesn't help this conversation. But it is a journey that the Uganda Coffee Development Authority is intentional about. All right? They are trying to increase it. But I would like to use our neighbors in Ethiopia as an example. the Ethiopians drink 50 to 60% of their coffee, all right? When we were in Ethiopia in February, the government told us that they have put a plan to increase another 4 million bags on top of the 7 or 8 that they produce. Why? Because they want that extra 4 million to be strictly for export because of foreign exchange. Okay? Domestic consumption is very important, all right? But even a country like Ethiopia, which has a culture of drinking, but I always end by telling people, think about this. What is coffee competing against? Water, juice, beer, whiskey, you know? You yourselves, when you go to a coffee shop, instead of drinking coffee, you eat a cake and juice. There's a reason why you do that. So the journey of incorporating this culture in us will take a while. But the reality is that we're not a coffee drinking nation. Yeah? We are more of a tea drinking nation. But we as the coffee sector are trying our level best. But for you to think that that will be a solution for us in this EUDR problem in terms of that won't be possible. At least not in the near future. But sometime in the future, maybe. For us to be able to export our coffee, all our farmers need to be mapped. All of them. Because of the small batches of coffee that are aggregated, should we not map one person and map 10? That coffee will not be exported. So the process in nature is free and transparent because the objective is that all the 1.8 or 2 million farmers have to be mapped to ensure, to lower the risk of ensuring that any coffee that leaves this country is whatever, is not what? Is deforestation free. Okay? So by nature of the process and the requirements, that is the case.